Hi there, we are Lisa and Chris. Please join us aboard our main ship 390, Cool Beans, as we cruise America's Great Loop. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Where did we just leave and where are we going?
We just left Paducah and we're headed to Green Turtle Bay.
Yes, that is in Grand River, Kentucky, for those who don't know. And we're going to be there for a few days, right?
That's the plan.
How did you like Paducah?
Really good. Go to Doe's and eat you a steak. You won't regret it.
Oh my goodness, that steak was amazing. We went with about 8 other couples, and that was probably one of the best steaks we've had in a really long time.
It was good.
It rivaled Perdido Key.
It did.
Well, all right. You looking forward to this week?
Absolutely.
We don't have a lot of traveling to do, FYI.
Not too much. Just kind of taking our time, getting to the rendezvous.
Yeah, we're going to spend some time on Kentucky Lake. All right. Bye. We left Paducah not knowing we'd be back in a few days. More on that later. It was a great little town. We really enjoyed it. The transient dock is right downtown where the river cruise ships dock, and we timed it just right. A cruise ship was coming in right as we were leaving. And funny story, Blue Tortuga had a fender come untied, and I tried to get it with my boat hook, but I had no luck. But Roxanne behind me was able to grab it. She has retrieved several fenders on the loop for others. We head up the Ohio River until we get to the Cumberland River. Here we are at the Y, where we turn off. So there are two ways to get to Green Turtle Bay Marina. This way, and a shorter distance way up the Tennessee River, but a busier lock. We all opted to go the longer, more scenic route, and boy, we are glad we did. The Cumberland River is very curvy, so we had some beautiful twists and turns. Enjoy these time lapses of our trip. It was absolutely stunning scenery and wildlife. We did pass a few barges, but mostly had the river all to ourselves. We are still considered to be going upstream, but it was not too bad of a current, only about 1 knot or so. We get to our one and only lock for the day, the Barkley Lock, which goes into Barkley Lake, our destination. We timed it just right, or we got lucky, either one, and we got right up to the lock and went straight in. However, we did have to wait about 45 minutes for the last boat to get there and get tied up. The Asian carp were jumping all in the lock, and one almost jumped in my boat. Everyone laughed, but it scared me to death. This was a 57-foot rise. We made it into our destination, Green Turtle Bay Marina. We celebrated our day with a dinner out at the famous Patty's restaurant. Oh my goodness, the food was amazing. We had a great time with our great looper friends. Travel Day 115. We went 38 nautical miles from Paducah, Kentucky to Grand Rivers, Kentucky. Our plan was to stay at Green Turtle Bay for 3 nights, so one day we grabbed their loaner car to run some errands. The girls and I went back to Paducah so we could do a good grocery store run, and while we were there we had to have lunch at this cute place. Then it was off to Provision. When we were in port, we always try to get some laundry done. And this particular stop had a spa, so we had a girls' day and enjoyed facials, saunas, pedicures, and lunch. And lastly, you cannot go to Green Turtle Bay without feeding the turtles. We bought a bag of turtle food and enjoyed seeing how many turtles, big and small, would surface. In today's interesting boat information, I'm going to talk about using headsets. These are the brand and model that we use, and most loopers we have met have these headsets. They are used when leaving and arriving to a dock or anchorage. They allow us to have a normal level conversation about the conditions and what we each need to do. Grab that second cleat, bow over to the port a foot, etc. They're also helpful when going through locks, as we're on opposite ends of the boat and just can easily talk to each other. Basically, a great tool to use to protect your boat and for the safety of all aboard. We highly recommend these headsets, and while you're at it, grab an extra set of batteries in case you need them. We did, and we were glad that we had grabbed the extra set. They have been invaluable for our loop. And fun fact, in the looper community, these are called marriage savers. After a few relaxing days at Green Turtle Bay, it was time to move on, as all loopers must do. Green Turtle Bay is located on Barkley Lake, but we needed to get over to Kentucky Lake to head to our next destination. We were able to go through Barkley Canal, which connects the two lakes. A little history of this area. Officials dedicated Barkley Dam, which created Lake Barkley, in August of 1966. Construction began in 1959 on the dam, located near Grand Rivers on the Cumberland River. With the creation of Kentucky Lake 20 years prior, a new canal was built linking the two lakes, and that's Barkley Canal. Kentucky Lake is the 25th largest lake in the United States and the 7th largest as far as man-made lakes are concerned. The surface area covers 250 square miles, or just over 160,000 acres, stretching 184 miles from Gilbertsville, Kentucky to Pickwick Dam in Tennessee. It is the largest body of water between the Great Lakes and the Gulf of Mexico. It's 2 miles wide in some spots. We had a little hitchhiker riding on our hanging succulent plant. And now we are headed into our destination, Paris Landing Marina. The U.S. Coast Guard's Buchanan station is adjacent to the marina. This is an Aids to Navigation Team Station, or ATON, which maintains buoys and navigational lights and markers along both the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers. That night, we were able to photograph the amazing northern lights. It was unbelievable. Travel Day 116. We went 38 nautical miles from Grand River, Kentucky to Buchanan, Tennessee. We stayed at Paris Landing for 4 nights. The price was right and the marina and amenities were great. We went to the Paris Landing Lodge for dinner one night with the group. It was a beautiful lodge with a beautiful view of the lake. The food was delicious and a good time was had by all. We visited the Paris Landing State Park Aviary and were lucky enough to attend a feeding of the birds of prey by the local park ranger. She introduced us to Oscar, the great horned owl, and Cleo, the red-tailed hawk. We were very impressed by the facilities. On Sunday, we did something we haven't yet done on the loop. We hired a fishing guide. He picked us up and took us to his home marina, and we fished a half-day trip. We also saw the remains of a bridge that once crossed this creek. The wind picked up midway through the morning, but we still caught a half a dozen crappie. Honestly, it was just so fun to do something that we enjoy doing together. As our guide was cleaning our catch, he was feeding the resident gar in the marina. What is your tip of the week?
This week's tip is to get you a captain's log and use it. We received our first one from some friends of ours, and we're now on our third one. We log everything in here each morning. Lisa fills it out, engine hours, any maintenance done to the boat. Anytime we get fuel, anytime we change filters, everything goes into the captain's log. Anything interesting we see along the way, she also takes note of.
That's a great tip.
Hope it helps someone.
I wanted you guys to meet some more loop buddies. All right, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Dan.
I'm Roxanne.
And tell me about your boat, Dan.
We are in a 1988 Chris Craft Catalina 381.
All right.
38-foot Chris Craft.
What's her name?
The name of the boat's 80s Lady.
And Roxanne, why is she 80s lady?
Well, because it's a 1988 boat.
That's what I thought. I never have asked.
And because the 80s were a big decade for us.
That's right.
We did lots of cool things in the 80s.
Awesome. Dan, where'd you start your loop?
We're keeping the boat in Galveston, Texas. We live in Katy, just west of Houston, but the boat was in Galveston. That's where we started our loop.
When did you start?
3 days after Thanksgiving last year.
That's
November
awesome.
27th.
Oh, that's awesome. Roxanne, what has been your favorite stop on the loop and why?
That's just the hardest question to answer. We've enjoyed so many things. I think we really enjoyed the times when our friends and family could join us.
Nice.
We had special people join us in the Bahamas. We had my brother and his wife and special friends join us in West Palm Beach for Astro Spring Training.
Mm-hmm.
We had our kids, our daughter and her family join us in New York City. We had our son and his family join us on the Erie Canal. Some dear friends joined us in the Thousand Islands, and other friends joined us in Canada. So, each one of those were special because we were able to share them with the people that we love.
Oh, what a lovely answer.
Yeah.
I love that. What, give me 3 words to describe your loop experience.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Okay. All right. You're right.
But that's one of the things that appeals to me. I like being challenged, and it's every day there's something new. There's always something to do. So
this is not yachting. This is not sunsets and cocktails. Sometimes it is.
sometimes
What's the biggest challenge do y'all think? Because I know what Chris would say. What do you think the biggest challenge is on a daily basis?
I'd say the biggest challenge is just there's no routine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
So
is unique.
every day is something different.
Yep.
You're boating in new waters every day, and I think that's a big thing, right? These are not familiar waters every day.
So some days it's navigation, some days it's maintenance, some days it's just
Weather.
figuring out where you're going to go next.
Totally, 100% agree. Why did you guys want to do the loop?
I think we wanted an adventure. You know, there's kind of a narrow window of time where you can do something like this. This tests you physically every day. So we kind of felt like we had reached that point in our lives where an adventure was something we could take on physically and otherwise. And yeah, I think that's probably, I don't know, you have anything to add to that?
We'd rented boats and for, you know, week, 2 weeks at a time, and we always just would look at each other when it was over and said, man, I wish we could just keep doing this. And
100%.
And so we came across the Great Loop and said that's a good way to do it for a year.
Oh, that's amazing. Good for you guys. What do you think you'll miss when you're done?
Oh, I'll miss my friends. I'll miss those sunsets. I'll miss knowing that we can do hard things. I mean, we know we can do hard things, but we're not challenged with hard things every day.
True.
And I think that's certainly, I think that's stuff I'll miss. How about you?
It gives you something to do every day.
Well, there's that, Dan. Absolutely. Well, just as a side note, I want to let everyone know when we met you, because I've been doing that. And so I think we officially met you in Atlantic City.
That's right.
And we traveled on and off with you a little bit, and then we picked you back up here in Illinois, on the rivers.
Yep.
And it's been great.
And we've had a blast.
It has been a blast. We have loved every second of it.
Our
Thanks.
Texas girls, our group of Texas girls.
I know. Yes, all three of us were Texas girls, born and bred.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Welcome back aboard Cool Beans. Had a great week on the water. We only traveled 2 days this week.
Yep.
We left Paducah for Green Turtle Bay.
Yep.
How many days were we there? 2 or 3?
3.
And from Green Turtle Bay, we went to Paris Landing State Park
Yeah, in Tennessee.
in Tennessee. Really, really nice, beautiful park.
Oh, we loved it.
Really impressed to see a state park that's that nice. Had a big lodge, had all kinds of activities for the young and old.
Aviary.
Aviary.
Yep. It was awesome.
Really nice place. While we were there, we went on a fishing trip.
We did.
Had a good time. Caught a few fish. Nothing to brag about, but
We'll fry them up here real soon.
we're going to have a nice crappie dinner one night soon. And what do we do, about 75 or 6 miles this week?
76, I believe. Yeah, 38 and 38.
Didn't cover a lot of water,
No.
but we're headed to the rendezvous, which is mid to late October.
Yep.
And we're scheduled to get there a couple of days early, so we're not in a big rush. And we'll travel when the weather's nice.
That's right. And it's looking a little windy in the next couple of days, so we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing.
Yeah, no, we're stress-free right now.
Yeah, it's very nice.
You got anything else?
I don't. Hello to all of our friends and family, and we'll be seeing you soon. We're
Absolutely.
coming on the end of our journey here, which is sad, but it is what it is. So,
And if you didn't know, Cool Beans is for sale.
yep. Let us know if you have any questions about her.
See y'all next week aboard Cool Beans.
Bye.